Today is going to be a learn the splits tutorial. I'm actually going to go through all the stretches that I like to do, take my time. I didn't stretch yet, so I'm stretching cold, so I'll be stretching with you. You'll see that I'm not just naturally flexible, that I have to work really hard towards it. So you see that now that I'm cold, I'm going to be tighter. Okay, so we're going to hold this split, what we call a half split right here, like this. This is going to kind of be like a remake of a tutorial that I made probably like 5 years ago. So 5 years later, you'll see it. It's one of my popular videos. It's like the same spot, same location. I just didn't have blue mats. I just had a gray carpet. And I think that tutorial split up into 2 sections, because back then YouTube had like a 15-minute limit, but now there's no limit, so it could be straight through. But there's going to be one video today. So this is called a half split. We need both feet flat on the ground like this, and then we're going to switch sides. So you'll see back then, 5 years ago, I was like 28 years old. Now I'm 33 years old, about to turn 34. So you see, like 5 years later, was I able to keep up my flexibility? Was I able to stay flexible? You see, it takes a lot of work. I've been stretching every day, and every day I stretch for at least 30 minutes, if not longer. So this is the half split. On the other side, we're holding this. Basically, I like to hold it as long as, I feel comfortable. Probably at least 30 seconds. The older you get, the more that you need to stretch. Otherwise, you're going to lose it. That's through experience that I've realized that too. Okay, so now we're switching to the other side, and I like to do this one called, it's still the half split, but this time you're pointing your toe upwards. You want to try to keep this foot flat. Just try to come down like this. So stretch every day for at least 30 minutes. If you really want to get flexible, then maybe you should do it for an hour. You could do it before you exercise, or you could do it after. Or you could do both. Stretch before 15 minutes, stretch after 15 minutes. Switch. I haven't really been making many tutorials, just more demo videos. And usually when I do the demo videos, it'd be a very quick stretch. Like, would stretch for like 30 minutes or an hour beforehand without it being filmed. And then we'll film like 10 minutes of stretching, or 15. And we're kind of like breezing through the stretches. And you'll see that I'm more flexible at that moment because I already stretched for over 30 minutes or an hour. But I didn't stretch today yet. This is like how I am when I'm cold. So I'm stretching with you. Okay, so this is called a half split. We're mainly working on split stretching today because that's what's popular. Everybody wants to learn how to do the splits, so that's what we're focusing on today mainly those stretches for the splits. So now this one, I call it the runner stretch. You hold it like this. It's not that challenging, so I'm not going to hold that long. And then you're going to put on your knee like this, point your toe out in the back like that. And then from here you want to drop down your elbow, grab your foot, bring it towards you. And from here, cross your foot over like this, point up the toe, keep back straight. So there's a front split and a middle split. The front split I'm not all that good at. I still got to get better at that one. That one's a challenge for me. So come over here, and then you can also try to push this up and straighten it back out. That's going to make it harder. This is going to be stretching like your outside thigh, like this area right here on the other side. Okay, back to this side. Now we're doing the other side. So, transition this way. I call this the runner stretch. From here, we're gonna grab foot. You feel that stretch like right here when you're pulling this foot like this. Point the toe back, cross this leg over like this, back straight. Now you can push this foot up, straighten it back out again. This one's a little challenge here. So the stretches that I'll be focusing on are primarily for the martial arts. Bring it back in. We're going to hold this here, called the butterfly. Mainly, the people known for teaching stretching techniques are yoga, or the yogis. Stretching and meditation is their main thing, but their stretching methods are going to be different because they're not focusing on combat. They're not focusing on like high kicking and dynamic movements the way martial artists would be. So they'd be emphasizing different types of stretches than what I would emphasize. So my stretching program more is for martial arts. Okay, so this is called a butterfly. You want your feet together. You want to bring it in as close as you can towards your body. You don't want your feet out here. You want them in. So you bring them in, and you want to touch your forehead to your feet. If you can't do that, then you just try to. And there's something else you could do. If you have a partner, have your partner push on your upper back so they can help you get lower. This stretch, when I hurt my lower back, I couldn't do this one. So this also stretches the lower back. It also stretches the groin area. Okay. So what else we're going to do right here? We're going to bounce from here, bouncing your knees up and down. This is called the butterfly stretch. And this will loosen up the groin area as well. Now you're going to use your elbows to push down on your knees and while you grab your ankles. So you're going to be going like this. You push those knees down towards the ground. So that's the butterfly stretch. That stretches mainly the groin area. It's definitely necessary for the splits. Next one is just kind of like a sit and reach, just one leg out, one leg in. This is kind of a simple one, so I'm not going to hold it for too long. Just, you gotta touch your head, your forehead to your knee while you reach forward. Anybody that wants to get into police department, you need to be able to do the sit and reach. So you need to get flexible with this one too. When I hurt my lower back, I couldn't really do this stretch either. So this is a lower back stretch as well. It also stretches the hamstrings back here, which is important for the splits. On the other side, mainly to do the splits is the hamstrings that are holding you back. Very large muscle group that's very tight, so it requires a lot of stretching because it's such a large muscle group. Just think of it like a huge rubber band that you need to really pull really hard. But your arms are smaller muscle groups, so you don't have to stretch it as long. It's like a smaller rubber band. It's easier to move. So move forward like that. Next one is a sit and reach with both legs out forward. Just keep the knees straight, make sure the knees are straight, and reach forward. So I like to stretch from from bottom to top. So all the large muscle groups right here, I like to stretch first. And then we build up towards the top, stretching your upper body. Okay, so we did that sit and reach. Now we're going to do a reverse butterfly, we call it. So we kind of come in like this, we push our hips down to the ground and change the angle. So you can see how it looks from the other side. So it looks like this. You can always touch your feet together, push the hips down, like that. Hold this position. You're almost pretty much doing the splits with your knees, pretty much. Come down. Okay, so that's the reverse butterfly. I'm going to come down and come back to this half split. This is probably the most important stretch for the splits right now, because this is prepping you up to get into it, doing one leg at a time. You can also try it on your knee. Let's do that. Half split on your knee. So I'm still tight. Right now I can feel it. So it's mainly your hamstrings that you need to be flexible. Also your groin area. Your hip flexors too. Breathing is important. I'm going to go more over that later. Really quickly, I want to do some lower back stretches, but then also preparation for the split. Just lay back like this. Bring your knee towards your chest. Same on the other side. To the side. It's good for the lower back. These stretches are good for the lower back. Ever have lower back pain? Do these stretches. Other side as well. Keep your shoulders on the ground while you push your knee to the side. Tuck your foot behind you. Lay back. The knee has to be contacted to the ground. If the knee lifts off the ground, then stay on your elbows. So if you're not that flexible, you might have to do it this way. Other side. Straighten out your arms back here. Here. Stretching is just my way to relax. Kind of be in meditation, calm the body, calm the mind, be at peace. And this is what I want to represent. So that's why you see me doing a lot of stretching videos, because I just want to be at peace. Just Just relax. Alright, so bring your feet back together, do another repetition of this butterfly real quick. So you see, we'll do multiple repetitions. That's what you need to do. You can't just expect to be more flexible just running through this stuff and just rushing it, you know. Alright, so we're going to get ready for the splits. We already kind of prepped up the body, warmed it up properly. Now, I'm going to go into the split, alright? This is the middle split. This is what everybody wants to try to learn. So you just kind of get on your feet like this, rock back here. You're on your fingertips because your fingertips is going to get you higher up there. And then as you get lower, then you're going to transition from the fingertips to the fists. And just kind of ease yourself into it. The way that I'm doing it, just kind of easy. Kind of sit down into it like this. Rock forward a little bit. Rock back. Hands back here. Stick your chest out. Sit down into it. Come back up. Come down. Shh. Now you can have your toes up while you sit here. This is kind of like a relaxation moment. What we just did was going to be the most painful part. This part shouldn't be too painful. You're just kind of sitting there with your legs out. Okay. I'm still stretching it a little bit. This moment I like to kind of massage in here because you can feel the pain in here. You can hit it down, you can hit it like this with your fists. You can massage with your hands here. Massage on the other side. Massage with your fingers. Hit again. Reach for your foot here. Reach to the other side. Reach towards the center. As far as my feedback on the split machines are concerned, if you already could do the splits, the split machine is just not necessary. It's a waste of space, it's a waste of money. If you can't do the split machine, I still would recommend just doing these stretches on your own. You don't really need the split machine, in my opinion. It can help, but it costs money, it takes up space, and the stuff that what it does, you can essentially do it without it, you know. So right now I'm rocking back and forth. It just feels good like this, kind of reaching forward, moving a little bit like this, moving a little bit like that. It just feels really good, you know. I can feel the muscle stretching when I'm doing this. So the whole thing about the split stretching is you're holding this stretch for a very long time. So I'm holding this, and I'm also like just kind of stretching my forearms a little bit like this. You could start doing some arm stretches from here to just kind of stretch out the rest of the body while you're still working on the split, which is a nice thing to do. So I'm stretching my wrists and everything while I'm holding this. Because essentially it's not just the splits that we need to get. We need to get the whole body flexible. But as I stated, everybody wants to learn the splits. That's why the video is focusing on splits. Alright, so we are going to move forward a little bit, pushing forward like this. Rock. So right now I'm not in pain, but if I rock forward this way and my instep goes in, that's when I'm going to feel the pain. So I'm going to work on that again to work on that flexibility. And you will be breathing hard, you'll feel the pain, but the pain is necessary for you to become more flexible. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to go forward again, right here, and start going low. This right here is the split right here, but I'm not comfortable, you know, I feel it. So I'm going to hold it. Now we're going to rock back, get back to comfortness. Okay, so that's the middle split. Now the front split. That's the one that's a challenge for me. But if you do the middle split, you essentially should be able to do the front split as well, because it's just like a transitioning of the hips. But the main thing that's going to be the challenge for the front split is this hamstring right here that's getting pulled. It's getting pulled at a different angle, and that's why, you know, I practice the middle split so much, but the front split I don't practice as much, and you'll see the difference. Alright, so we're going to get into this front split. I'm going to get into it from the middle split, because to me that's the easiest way to do it. So, we come over here, we get into the middle split again, rock forward again, home right here, and then now start turning your foot on one side, while you transition the other side, and point that toe in the rear, point it back, this one's here, and then you're coming down from here. And this is the front split, but you see, I'm not all the way there. I have to kind of force it. So you see, I had to drop down with effort to get down there. See? Right there. That hurts. Okay, so we got that. Let's turn to the other side. From here, turning this way, point back one, back foot point, and then from here. See, from here, it's still not all the way down. But with effort, I can push it down. So that's what I'm going to do. Come down. Here. So that's the front split of both sides. Now we get back to the middle split, back to the center, go all the way down, here, now rock back up, relaxation moment again, what we all are waiting for to relax. Alright, so the reason why I don't like the front split that much is because you gotta do both sides. So you gotta turn to the right, then you gotta turn to the left, and it just takes extra time. One side ends up getting more flexible, and the other side's not as flexible. I like the middle split because you just go right, both into it. You don't gotta worry about the left side or the right side, just do both at the same time. But of course, if you want to be very flexible, you got to be able to do the front split and the middle split. And as you can see, like, it's not easy for me either. You know, like, it takes a lot of work. It's not like I can just drop into it like nothing. Then it wouldn't really be a tutorial. It'd just be you watching somebody just doing the splits, which is not really a tutorial. So you see how much effort it requires for me to get more flexible, and pretty much this is the same struggle that all beginners will go through as well. That struggle to be more flexible. And there's still a struggle for me. As you can see, it's not easy for me either. Okay, so you can feel it, just kind of rotate your ankles. That kind of makes things feel a little better. Now we're going to get back right into the butterfly and just kind of go down as low as you can at this moment. We're still not done because I want to do another rep, and I also want to reach forward to show you how to intensify that stretch even more, to get even lower. Okay, so get into this butterfly. This is kind of like a relaxation moment. Okay, what I also like to do right here is to kind of shake it out a little bit. Move this way. You can also bring your knee towards your chest like this. Hold it to yourself. Bring your foot to your chest. Other side. Left knee to your chest. Left foot to your chest. You can bring your foot over your head. That's a challenge too. Other side. Okay. Just really quickly, arm across your neck. Let's do this one real quick. Just stretch your back. Look it up. Do this one here. Like this. Jump it to the side. Inside. Sit back in your ankles, stretching your ankles a little bit. Stretching your neck and your shoulders. Okay. So we're gonna get another rep in. Middle split again. This time we gotta get lower. So our body's warmed up already. Okay, so remember what I said before, what we're gonna do, we're gonna touch our elbows to the ground. Next thing, touch your forehead to the ground. So it comes from elbows to forehead. Now chest. That's going to be the hardest one. Chest to the ground. Right there. And then that's pretty much the full split. Because you're from here, and then your chest is also touching the ground. Put your hands back, chest out. Relax. So right there, I'm where I need to be with the middle split. And then the front split is the one that hurts the most. And even for me, I don't want to do it because of the pain, but I might as well just go for another rep on each side of the front split again and try to get all the way down there. So I'm going to do it again. Front split this way. So we'll rock back up into the middle split and then push the front split going that way. So from here, middle split, push to the side, front split, get low, touch my head to the ground or to the knee, and then to the other side, low, so you see, if you can do the middle split, then you should be able to do the front split because it's just a transitioning of the hips. Okay, so that's pretty much it. That's the whole tutorial. That's all you need to know. This is pretty much the only video you need to watch. And just keep doing it every single day. But of course people like new things, so sometimes I come up with more videos just to put something different out there because every day is a different day. But at the same time, I do these same stretches every single day. You gotta take the stretches seriously. People don't take it serious enough. They don't really care about it too much. They just breeze through the stretching like it's nothing. But if you really want to get better, you have to take it seriously. You know, just as serious as you take the strength training or the combat training or the meditation. Alright, so the ending part, I'm just going to slide down into the splits without my hands assisting me. Okay, so that's going to be one of the hardest things to do. So you start from the up position, from standing, from here, and then you just kind of slide down without using your hands. But my shoes are in the way. So get rid of these shoes. to the side. Okay, so now I do this position here, and we just kind of slide into it. So, 5 years later, I can still do it, even when I'm older. So don't use age as an excuse. Just keep training and keep working hard.